In May 2022, Solana's blockchain didn't just slow down, it simply stopped. For hours, it was as if the entire network had vanished. What happened that day wasn't a hack or a theft. It was something more fundamental, a cascade of technical failures that exposed a flaw buried deep in Solana's architecture. And it wasn't the first time. Between 2021 and 2022, the network went dark repeatedly, sometimes for days. Each outage raised the same haunting question: if a blockchain can't stay online, what's the point? Solana was designed for speed. Where Bitcoin takes 10 minutes to confirm a transaction and Ethereum takes seconds, Solana promised near-instantaneous settlement. To achieve this, its creators made a critical trade-off. They prioritized throughput over redundancy. The network would process millions of transactions per second, but it would do so on a tighter rope. The mechanism that held it together was called proof of history, a novel consensus system that stamped transactions with verifiable timestamps. In theory, it was elegant. In practice, when validators became overloaded during periods of high activity, the system couldn't handle the strain. Transactions backed up, the network choked, and then it stopped. One outage in September 2021 lasted nearly 18 hours. During that time, the entire network was unreachable. Users couldn't trade. Validators couldn't earn rewards. The blockchain, supposed to be immutable and always on, was simply offline. The technical cause, a flood of non-fungible token transactions, overwhelmed the validator's processing capacity. What made these failures particularly damaging wasn't just the downtime itself. It was what they revealed. Solana's architecture had a single critical dependency. If the network couldn't distribute load evenly across validators, or if one component became a bottleneck, the entire system would collapse. There was no graceful degradation, no partial operation, just failure. The impact rippled outward. Developers questioned whether to build on Solana. Investors questioned whether it could scale without sacrificing stability. The network that promised to replace Ethereum had, in moments of stress, proven less reliable than the system it aimed to displace. Trust, once broken, doesn't mend quickly in finance. Solana's team did respond. They implemented network improvements, increased validator requirements, and worked to distribute load more evenly. But the fundamental tension remained. Speed and decentralization are expensive. You can maximize both, or you can maximize throughput. Solana chose throughput, and that choice had a cost. This is the story of how a blockchain built on ambition collided with the laws of distributed systems. Solana's outages weren't random failures. They were the inevitable result of a deliberate design decision made in pursuit of speed. Understanding what went wrong here tells you something essential about how blockchains actually work and what they're willing to sacrifice in the name of performance. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research. Subscribe to uncover the engineering decisions and human choices that have toppled entire financial systems, because the real story is always in the details. This video is for educational and informational purposes only and is not financial advice. Always do your own research.